Welcome back to the Badass Broadcast, where we keep it raw, sacred, and soul-led. I'm your host, favorite fire starter and nervous system regulator, the Queen Lady T. And today we're talking about something that is not comfortable, but it is necessary. We're talking about the savior complex. And now this might make some people squirm a little bit because we're not just talking about helping. We're talking about why you help. We're talking about the energy underneath the service, about whether your calling is actually clean or quietly bleeding. Now, to be clear, this is not an attack on healers. It's not a purity test, and it's not about being perfectly healed before you serve. It's about integrity and about nervous system leadership. Whether your work empowers people or whether it subtly makes them dependent on you. If you're a coach, healer, mentor, light worker, or just someone who feels deeply called to help, this episode might sting because most of us entered service through pain. Most of us wanted to help because we know what it felt like to suffer. And that's beautiful, but pain is a doorway. It's not the foundation. And if you build your purpose on unprocessed wounds, it will eventually crack. So today we're separating compassion from codependency, purpose from projection, sacred service from savior mode. And I promise you, if you're willing to hear this with humility instead of defensiveness, this episode won't shrink you. It'll sharpen you. Let's get into it.
Every beat, your truth out loud. This is your kingdom. Stand up proud.
So there's a frequency difference between helping from overflow and helping from lack. You can feel it. When someone is helping from wholeness, it feels steady and grounded, non-attached. It feels clear. When someone is helping from a wound, it feels urgent, heavy, like they need something from you while they serve you. See, there's a huge difference between holding space and trying to fill your own space from someone else's healing. When you help from wholeness, you don't need to be needed. You don't collapse when someone disagrees. You don't take someone's lack of progress personally. But when you're helping from a wound, you feel responsible for their outcome. You feel rejected if they don't get better. You get resentful when you're not validated. One is a sacred service, the other is wounded saving. And they are not the same. Here's the wild part. From the outside, they can look identical. Both are generous, both are passionate, both can sound powerful. But one says, I trust your capacity. The other says, I don't trust you to survive without me. One empowers, the other subtly disempowers while calling it love. That's why discernment matters. Not perfection, discernment. So let's break down this wounded healer archetype. Because most healers start from pain. That's not the problem. Your pain can absolutely be your doorway into purpose. But here's the key. Your wound must be alchemized into wisdom. If you never integrate your pain, if you never regulate your nervous system, if you never transmute the trauma, you don't become a healer, you become a savior. And savior mode is just another trauma response. It says, if I fix them, I'll feel worthy. If I save her, I won't have to feel my own pain. If I'm needed, I won't be abandoned. That's not compassion. That's unprocessed survival. Your wounds can become wisdom, but only if you're willing to metabolize them. Otherwise, you'll stay stuck in cycles of overgiving, burnout, martyr energy, quiet resentment. That's not destiny. That's dysregulation, dressed up as purpose. And let me be honest, I've never really helped anyone from a place of overgiving or burnout because I never got that far. I thought I wanted to. I thought I've survived this. I've been through hell. Maybe helping others will make it all worth something. But what actually happened, I burned out before I even got started. And that burnout actually turned out to be one of the biggest blessings of my life because I realized what I thought was purpose was really a bypass. It wasn't a soul alignment. It was me trying to make meaning out of pain I hadn't fully processed yet. I wasn't called to that work. I was hoping it would make me feel better about what I'd survived because, I had all this new knowledge now. And that's common. A lot of people enter their healing spaces that way. But if you don't pause long enough to discern what's real and what's projection, you end up creating from a wound instead of wisdom. I've watched people call themselves trauma-informed coaches and then completely unravel online over a post that wasn't even directed at them. And I'm thinking, you're holding space for trauma survivors, but you're this reactive? Not because you need to be perfect to lead, because you don't, but because when you're leading from a wound, your advice becomes projection. Your work becomes personal therapy in disguise. And your clients end up carrying your triggers. That's not sacred, that's leakage. And leakage doesn't just drain you, it confuses your clients. Because when your nervous system isn't safe, your words might say, "You're safe." But your energy says, "I'm bracing." People respond to energy first. Sacred service is nervous system leadership. If you can't stay steady in someone else's storm, you're not holding space. You're drowning together. And here's another layer. When you've been through something heavy, especially as a woman, you don't just want to feel better. You want to save every other woman from ever feeling that way. So you jump into action. You spring into service. You jump into savior mode. But hear me. You cannot save someone from a fire you're still standing in. You cannot anchor someone while you're still learning to swim. You cannot guide someone with a flashlight you haven't learned to hold steady. Even with good intentions, helping from a wound can cause harm because it's your pain talking, not your power. Now let's make this practical. Here's some signs you might be helping from a wound if you feel drained after a session, if you feel personally responsible for someone's breakthrough, you get anxious when clients don't respond with praise, you struggle to set boundaries, you feel guilty saying no, your worth feels tied to how much you give, you overextend and then resent people for needing you. That's not overflow, that's depletion. Sacred service does not leave you empty. It may require energy, but it doesn't strip your identity. If you're constantly exhausted, reactive, and resentful, you're not serving from wholeness, you're leaking from wounds. So what does helping from wholeness actually look like? It looks like clean, energetic boundaries, compassion without codependency, offering tools without attachment, trusting someone else's journey, not needing to be the hero. When you help from embodiment, you're not trying to prove you're a good person. You're not trying to earn your worth or heal through them. You're simply sharing what you've integrated. And integration is the receipt. Anyone can talk about healing. Not everyone has metabolized it. Embodiment means you've sat with it, you've felt it, you've regulated through it, you've stopped blaming the world for it. Now you can teach it without shaking. That's the difference. You don't have to earn your right to serve. You just have to embody the healing you offer. When you do that, your work becomes sustainable. Your nervous system stays regulated, your compassion stays clean, and your impact multiplies. Because you're not dragging your wounds into the room, you're bringing wisdom. Now, before we close, I don't want this living in your mind. I want it in your body. If you're driving, just breathe. If you're somewhere still, plant your feet. Take one slow inhale through your nose. Let it expand your ribs, not just your chest. And hold for 3, 2, 1. Now exhale slowly through your mouth like you're fogging up a mirror. Again, in through the nose Hold, exhale long. Now ask yourself quietly, where do I feel responsible for someone else's healing? Don't analyze it. Just notice. Chest tight, stomach heavy, jaw clenched. Put your hand there and breathe into that spot. You are not responsible for carrying anyone. You are responsible for embodying your truth. Repeat this slowly. I release the need to be needed. I choose to serve from overflow. I trust others to walk their path. My worth is not measured by who I save. My power is anchored in wholeness. Now take one more deep breath. Inhale sovereignty. Exhale savior mode. Feel the difference. Sacred service doesn't come from urgency. It comes from regulation. And regulation is power. If you're ready to help from wholeness and not burnout, if you're ready to regulate your nervous system so your service becomes sustainable, come experience Reiki infused healing inside the Wildfire Reiki Room, live every Sunday night. Or activate your own healing flow through my Kundalini Reiki activation and attunement course. All this and more is waiting for you at unstoppablepadass.me. And if this episode hit, share it, because somebody out here is calling their savior complex purpose, and they need to hear this. You are not here to bleed for your calling. You are here to embody it. And remember, love, you are an unstoppable badass, worthy of everything your heart desires. Let's get it.
The spark ignites a revolution born in the firelight. No more hiding, no playing small. It's time to rise, we're claiming it all.
If this episode spoke to your soul, don't keep it to yourself. Like it, share it, send it to someone who needs a dose of badassery in their life. Want to be a guest on the show? Got a powerful story, message, or mission? Apply now at unstoppablepadass.me. Need a high vibe home for your healing and growth? Join my free Facebook community, the Elevated Soul Tribe. It's where soul-led women come to rise, connect, and stay real. If you're a seer, light worker, or spiritual badass who's done shrinking, step inside the fire and rise with us in Sacred Wildfire, my virtual queen circle. Feeling stuck or ready to break through? Book your free badass breakthrough session and let's uncover what's been holding you back. Clarity, power, momentum, all waiting on the other side. Ready to activate your healing gifts? Enroll in my Kundalini Reiki activation and attunement course. Step into or deepen your healer's journey with sacred energy work that transforms you from the inside out. Want to show some love? Donate or shop at buymeacoffee.com/The Queen Lady Tea, because your support helps me keep lighting fires and dropping truth. You can find all these links in the show notes, the description, or at unstoppablepadass.me. Thank you so much for rocking with me, and I'll catch you in the next episode of the Badass Broadcast.
It's the Badass Broadcast. Claim your crown. No limits, no boundaries, no backing down. For the dreamers, the fighters, the ones who dare to rise from the ashes to take their share. This is your anthem, your power unleashed, a movement of It's your time, step into the spotlight, let yourself shine.